2024 has finally rolled around and the Euros are closing in. And as you can imagine, everyone's going to be gearing up to bring their A-game. Europe's best and brightest are already preparing, but as it always has been, there are some teams that kind of feel like they have more to prove. One of the favourites is England. After a recent run of heartbreaking results at international competitions, there's a sense that 2024 could be England's year. And, I've got to tell you, looking at this squad, it could be. Hey guys, just before we get into the video, I just wanted to ask you to like the video and subscribe to this channel. We've got a lot of awesome football content coming your way, and your support will definitely go a long way in helping us be better. So, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a thing. Anyways, on to the video. At this point, it's pretty obvious that England have an unfortunate run when it comes to international competitions, and with the last two tournaments being agonisingly close to being their time once again, it must be only a matter of time before England get the job done, right? Despite these disappointing recent results, England remains one of the proudest and most feared nations whenever these competitions roll by. And to their credit, they've had some really solid outings. At the 2018 World Cup, the English team got all the way to the semi-finals before losing agonisingly to Croatia, who then went to the final and lost to eventual winners France. But it's safe to say that the most disappointing of these losses came at the 2020 Euros. Despite being relatively underrated, England pulled off what can only be described as a sweetheart run, going all the way to the final on the back of solid performances from everyone on the team, beating good teams such as Germany in the run-up. While Luke Shaw scored early and Jordan Pickford eventually saved two Italian penalties, it just wasn't enough to win the final. Nevertheless, that's all ancient history now. England went to the 2022 World Cup and had a decent outing before it was all wrapped up by the quarter-final where they went toe-to-toe with the best team in the world at the time and lost due to a Harry Kane penalty miss, which doesn't happen very often. With the Euros less than 6 months away, you can imagine that preparations are already kicking in. Gareth Southgate and his team will be looking to rejigger the squad for the next competition, and just like every other event, there's a sense that this could be the one for England. Why, you might ask? Well, let's kick a few reasons off. Number 6. Bukayo Saka. At the last Euros in 2020, or 2021, one major thing that seemed to kill the English squad was inexperience. When the penalty shootout in the final came, 3 young players stepped up who had never been to international competitions before, let alone play at a stage as grand as that. So, naturally, the pressure built and the guys understandably couldn't keep up. The good thing about this is that these players can very much show the world that they've got the mentality to become a top player by how they respond to these setbacks. Unfortunately, Rashford and especially Sancho have not found much form since this tough moment in their career. Rashford's now struggling to be a consistent starter for Man United, and Sancho's now training with the reserves and will likely be leaving the club in January after falling out with his manager. To counter this, Saka bounced back like a spring, putting the failure behind him, showing the world that he has the mental resilience to become a key player for club and country in the coming years. Going into 2024, Bukayo Saka is one of the best wingers in the Premier League at the moment and even in the world, helping Arsenal mount a title charge yet again this season, which makes him a real threat for any defence coming up against England next year through his scoring and creating abilities. Number 5. Jordan Pickford. Pickford is once again proving his haters wrong. His form for Everton this season has been immense, helping turn Everton's controversial point deduction into an excuse for the team to perform excellently, keeping clean sheet after clean sheet. Fans and pundits alike have always questioned Pickford's goalkeeping abilities despite his excellent performances for England. It's important for a successful team to have leaders all over the pitch, and Jordan certainly provides this for the defence and is constantly talking, or shouting, to his defence, making him a stalwart in goal this year. Number 4. Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire has been ridiculed ever since he joined Manchester United back in August 2019, and rightly so. He has had a few rough patches with the club, being stripped of the captain's armband and being benched for many games for the last couple of seasons. However, he's completely turned it around this season and has been one of United's best players, even winning a Premier League Player of the Month award. Maguire has always been criticised for his susceptibility to making mistakes, at the back of which would have inevitably affected his confidence. Despite this, he has always been a rock in defence for England. Saying this, he should be full of confidence for the Euros, which may even elevate his England performances to a new level. Do not be surprised if Maguire is one of England's best performers and one of the players of the tournament at the Euros in 2024. Number 3. Harry Kane. The undisputed leader of this England squad, Kane has continued to be Mr. Dependable for the Three Lions time and time again. And heading into this Euros, Southgate will be relying on Kane's ability to bang in many goals. Fortunately, Kane is in the right form to do just that. There was some controversy around Kane's move to Munich, but ever since he moved to Germany, he has been unstoppable. He's not just the Bundesliga's highest goalscorer, he's also odds-on favourite to top the European Golden Boot rankings for the 2023-24 season. His form has been invaluable as the Bavarians look to strengthen their hold on the Bundesliga and return to the top of the Champions League. And with Kane in blistering form, England will definitely be looking to capitalise on that to make a deep run in the Euros this year. To partner this, Kane will be 33 by the time the next World Cup comes around in 2026. This may suggest that this could be his last international tournament at the peak of his powers. This may give him that extra motivation to not only lift himself, but lift those around him to reach international glory. Before we head into the two most important reasons for England's success, feel free to hit the like and subscribe buttons to make sure you don't miss all the football content we have coming your way. Number 2. Declan Rice. Next up is a potentially underrated player in England's squad, and that is Declan Rice, who got his big money move to Arsenal in the summer and has been an absolute monster for the Gunners. Not all midfielders have the energy and IQ to sit in front of defences and competently intercept and tackle teams' attacking players for 90 minutes at a time. A more important benefit of Declan Rice is that he can do this alone. This fact could not only give the defence large amounts of stability, but crucially give freedom to England's other midfielders to push up the pitch and score goals and provide for the other forward players. Rice also has goal-scoring abilities himself. After professing his desire to score and assist more for his team and not only provide defensive value, Rice has started to do just this, scoring vital goals for Arsenal at crucial times, and that makes him a very valuable player for England at both ends of the pitch. Number 1. Jude Bellingham. Lastly, you have the man himself, Jude Bellingham. Look, I don't think there's enough that can be said about this guy. He's just 20 years old, but he plays with the composure and poise of a man who's been at the top level for years. Bellingham is the once-in-a-generation talent that you rarely see. He was arguably England's best player at the 2022 World Cup, creating links between the midfield and the attack and regularly dominating the holding midfielder position against established teams. Since Qatar, Bellingham has blossomed into one of the best players on the planet. Period. He earned his £1 million move to Real Madrid in the summer, and the kid has literally lit up La Liga. He's one of the top scorers in the Spanish top flight, and he's established himself as Real Madrid's star man. And with the stability of Rice sat behind him, he could have even more freedom to attack and create for his England teammates. A lot will be resting on Bellingham's shoulders this Euros. If England are to make a deep run in the competition, or even have a chance to win it all, much of that will rely on his performance. And based on what we've seen so far, he has no issues with living up to the spotlight. The England football team are primed for a win this year because the squad is not only of immense quality right now, but is starting to reach maturity. Starting with the defence that will be the backbone of England's success, Pickford, Stones, Maguire, Kyle Walker, Luke Shaw, and the captain Harry Kane have bags of experience moving into their 30s. These mature players, combined with players like Jude Bellingham, who will turn 21 during the tournament, Saka, 22, Rice, 25, Foden, 24, may provide the perfect balance of maturity and energy. With all this, it's pretty certain that England will be one of the teams to watch at the Euros. Will football finally come home? Let us hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time, guys.